Hey everyone, it is Jack again with Toy Dojo, and today we're taking a look at the Perfect Fusion PF-01 Cesium, or Perfect Fusion's take on a masterpiece styled slag. Now we are going to compare Cesium with the FansToys Scoria. For those of you that don't know, Perfect Fusion is actually like a sister company, if you will, to FansToys. I know it was kind of like when he first was announced, oh, is this a FansToys figure? Is it not? Yes, no. It is. How do we know for sure? If you haven't read up on it already, on the box here, they have a FansToys sticker right here. And then the styrofoam insert that comes with it has the FansToys kind of like stamping on the styrofoam right there. And it also has the FansToys stickers that normally keep the two styrofoam halves together. So the box itself also looks like a FansToys box. So you can see that also looking at the figure, we know it's a FansToys figure just by looking at it. Style, I guess, if you will. But it's under the Perfect Fusion name. And so, from what I read, this will be a one and done type of figure. But I'm guessing if this figure does well, maybe they'll recreate the whole Dinobot MP line. I don't know. But we did need, in my opinion, I think we needed a more updated version of Slag than we had with Scoria. Now, Scoria wasn't bad when he first came out, but as they made the other Dinobots, in my opinion, the other dinos were a lot better engineered than Scoria was, and just a lot cleaner looking. So I think he fits in well, Cesium here fits in well with the FansToys style of Dinobot. So taking a look at the accessories that come with him, he comes with his sword right here that also takes lights and also can turn on if I had lights, but I don't. Now you would take them and put the batteries in right there, and he would have that. And he holds this sword a lot better than Scoria held his. He has his rifle blaster gun as well, that again, if I had the batteries, could light up, but I do not. The batteries would go in, however, right inside there, and that's where that would go. He also comes with the toy accurate horns, and these are die-cast metal, red chrome, so that's cool that you can swap out. He comes with red eyes that are chromed out instead of the blue ones that he has on his face right now. He also comes with replacement thighs, black, to match, I guess, the toy version of him. And then this piece, I'm not sure what it goes to. The other thing, this one, it didn't come with an instruction booklet, so I don't know what happened with the instructions, but it didn't come with that normal instruction booklet that has a little card in it. And then this one wasn't sealed at the bottom either, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to have a sticker here to close it, but this one didn't have it. So don't know if that's something at the factory they kind of left out. I'm not sure. So I really don't know what this is for. If you guys find out what this is for and know what it's for, leave me a comment in the video and let me know, because I have no idea in the comment section. And then he comes with this black head right here, and also the red face to give him more of the toy, G1 toy look. So you just slide that on like that, clip this on like that, and then you would have his face there. And you get to put the blue or the red eyes in there, so that's neat too. He comes with all those accessories right there. And get the box out of the way and focus in on him. And maybe before we just focus in on him, I'm going to bring in Scoria as well, just to start off showing the comparisons of the two. First thing right off the bat you can see is the size difference. Now, you can see that Cesium is probably, I'm going to say, a head taller. Looks like Scoria probably comes up to his shoulders as far as like Scoria's robot head. Right here, it looks like it comes up to about his shoulder, so he's at least a head taller. And then up here is just a little bit taller right there, but he looks taller, he looks more beefy over here. Again, I think he fits in more with the rest of the dinos that FansToys came out with. So taking a look at them, they do look similar, but there are some differences as well. One, he has a little bit more die-cast metal on him than he does, but he's still just as heavy as he is carrying the two. They both feel about the same weight. So taking a look at Cesium over there, and let me zoom in here. So I'm using my new phone. I got my new phone, thankfully. The last one, I guess I told you guys before, the camera messed up, and so it really messed up my mojo making my videos. And I tried getting a camera, and it just didn't work out well. So I got my new phone, and it's shooting great videos. So we'll see. I may still have to mess with it, but at least it's working better than the other one. So he does have the same kind of blue eyes right there that he has over here. I think these are a little bit more of a darker blue than these are here. And they're both that chromed out, so it's kind of reflecting that light off of them. But I feel like this face sculpt is a lot better than this one is over here. And I know we got the replacement one with a grinder, and I have mine put away. I didn't even bother swapping anything out. So, but just right out of the box, out of the both of them, this face sculpt to me looks a lot better. And then the chest piece here, this one here, is a lot bigger than this one over here. Now this one is die-cast metal, and this one is not. This is just chrome plastic right there. You can see on the shoulders here, he's got more paint apps over here with these little rivets. He's got those rivets, no paint apps there. These actually right here, we'll talk about that in articulation. These rotate due to some transformation, so those can rotate right there, whereas his don't. His are made part of him, part of his body. So looking down a little bit further on the waist pieces here, he's got these flip up hip skirts, and he doesn't. And we'll talk about this too. I kind of like this one better, for the simple fact that this always would collapse, and that you had to do that for transformation, but it always would collapse when you try and balance out the legs. So that was a pain in the butt for me to mess with whenever I, just want to sit there and play with him. Coming down to the legs, they both have the silver thighs right here. Again, his thighs look a little beefier than his do over here. They got the green accents right here on the knees, and then you can see that both of them have some like smoke gray right here, but inside they have some detailing. He's got that gray, blue, and red, and he's got some silver. I say gray, but that's silver, and red right inside there. So their own little like detailing inside, which is really neat. And then looking down at the feet right there, these are die cast. These are die cast here. You can see that these are a lot bigger than this, so just overall bigger. And then looking at the legs too, you can see that these are a lot wider right here than these are. These are a little bit smaller, but that's because these hide the tail back inside here, which again, I like that. To me, I like that better than I do over here, simply because his tail, when we pan up here, you're going to see it's hiding on his back, and it gives him a pretty big backpack. So look at the detailing here. They both have some nice detailing work onto them. Little rivets. He's got some coloring down here, whereas he doesn't. This is a big hole right here. This one doesn't look too bad right there, so points over here on this one, I believe. And then going up here, let's just take a look at the side here. And you can see what I'm talking about, the backpack here. So his backpack, because of his tail, sticks out a little bit. He's got that gap, and he's got the tail hidden right inside there. So he's got more detailing right here than he does. He's got a little bit right here, but nothing really on these wings. This probably could use a little bit of paint, but then again, this didn't have any paint over here. So just some good detailing on that right there. This is more of a kind of just like a smoke gray, or this one over here on his shoulder kind of looks like almost like a gold underneath it with that chrome on top. So, and then going to the back pieces of them, and let me zoom out just a little bit. There we go. You can see again just the detailing over here on the Scoria as far as like the paint apps, all that kind of stuff right here. Whereas he's got a little bit over here, but not a whole lot. This piece, when it came out of the box, it was hidden down like that. But that gives him like a butt flap, so you can just take that and fold it up like that, and that kind of gets it out of the way. So I think in their own right, they look cool. He's got a lot more detailing over here, but this hides better. It doesn't have a big backpack. And then coming up to the top pieces here, I always liked the way these looked. I don't know, the detailing on these look really neat. This one over here reminds me of the Gigapower version of Slag here. That detail in there, just, I don't know, for whatever reason, it reminds me of the way it looks right here. And I think I like this one better over here than I like this one here. The horns, though, I will say I do like the ones on Cesium more. They are, you can see they are a lot bigger, longer. And these are really well put into place. Whereas these, mine were always kind of loose. I'm not sure if that's the way it was on all of them, but they're always just a little bit loose on these horns here. And these are a nice chromed out color. And I can't remember if mine started out to be chrome and then it kind of got this color, but and not that it's an ugly color, but you can see what I'm talking about, where it has that kind of, I don't know, finish to it now. So, And then they both have, you can see on the Dino eyes there, they both have that same color blue. I don't know how what's picking it up with the light there. Let me see. Now they both have same color blue eye. So take a preference. These eyes are more, I don't know, they have a different shape on his than on his. So your preference on the way the eyes look. The head over here, and I'm zoomed in a lot, but I'm just trying to show these detailing off really well. So his head over here is a lot wider than his head is. Your head's a little bit more small right there. And then let's see, what else do we got here? Going back to the front right here. Again, I just like his head sculpt over here. I think it looks better. And then it sits well inside this bottom piece here. Whereas this one doesn't sit too well inside there. Like that, just kind of sits right there. So this one just looks, just to me, a whole lot better over there. And let's bring in the rest of the dinos and we can kind of just see how they all look together as far as the FansToys one. So I'm going to bring in Grinder right here. And let's get him out of the way. Here's Stomp. And Sever. If I can make some room for all these guys. Let's see, Sever, you go right there. And then, I forgot his name, but we're going to Swoop. We're just going to call him Swoop because that's his name, but not really. Because I just forget his name. But there are the dinos all together. Let's pull this back out. And I don't know, I may have this thing sitting wrong or something. It just looks kind of weird on him right there. But to me, he looks like he fits the part better. Cesium does, in my opinion. But saying that, I think, again, from my own opinion, I think he's too tall. Because he looks like he's a little bit taller than Grinder is at the head. Maybe just by a little tiny bit, if not right at the head of Grinder. And I feel like he shouldn't be that tall. I feel like he should be smaller. In my opinion, I always thought that Sludge should have been the taller of the bots. Even more so than Grimlock. But if we look at these all together, and I'll just bring Sludge in here and put him next to Cesium. He looks small next to Cesium right there. You can see Cesium is taller than he is. So I just think that maybe he looks good, but he's just a little bit too tall for his robot mode. In Dino mode, he's going to look good, but in his robot mode, he looks just a little bit too tall. So take that for what it's worth. It's going to be your opinion on what you think as far as the scale-wise on them. But again, I do think that aesthetically, he looks better. And then I'm dropping my dinos over there. He looks better simply because of the way everything hides in. If we look at the way the tails hide in right here and back there, they hide in the same as do... Now his tail doesn't. His tail hides on the top there, but everything hides really well on the bottom right there. And then getting over here, same as him. Everything hides in very well over there. And then we got his tail, which hides on his back. So we'll get my final thoughts on the figure and whether or not you need to pick him up if you have him. But let's just keep going. So let's get these guys out of the way. And let's just go ahead and focus in on the accessories for the Cesium here. Alright, so accessories-wise, I'm going to take a look at his sword with the sword from Scoria. And they are about the same looking kind of sword. The only big benefit of this sword here, besides that it's bigger, is that he can hold it better than Scoria could hold his own sword. Scoria can never hold his sword very well. It was always kind of tilted in his hand. That's the one thing I didn't like about it. They put that hilt too small there. So let me show you what I mean. So if you don't have Scoria, if you have Scoria rather, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'll show you. So we try to get into his hand. You can never hold it just 100% right because, let me line up that groove right there. You can't even do that too well. Because that, so you can see there when I try and get that in right there, he's not going to be able to hold it well unless you tilt his hand out. Because of the way this is molded, and you can see there that his hand will just have to And now I can't even get it in his darn hand. Let's get his thumb fingers around it. There you go. So you would see he has to bend his wrist down a little bit in order to hold it, just because that runs into this piece there. So that was an issue, but over here, he doesn't have that issue. They were able to fix that and put it to where that is higher up on his hand. And you can see that he can hold that one really well, and it's not going to be bothered by this piece right here. So the guns do look similar. I will say I do like the Scoria gun more. I like it for one because it looks, or it's chrome rather, and then this one, I don't know, there's something about it that just doesn't sit right with me. It just looks too much like a toy, and I know they're toys, but this one just looks more high-end than this one does here. So for me, I would prefer this gun here, but again, to each his own. At least this one has like a little trigger, if you will. It doesn't move, but you can put his finger in it and make it look like he's shooting his gun. So if we're going to put this in his hand over here, we could take his finger and make it look like he was shooting his gun. If I can get it right. Of course, not going to want to. It's going to mess with me. Let me see, just get that around there, get this around there. I don't want to take too much time messing with this, but you can. I just want to sit there and mess with it. You can get it, once you sit there and mess with it, you can get his hand in there, or get it on there and hold it. And he can hold it really well, and you can put his finger inside that little slot to make it look like he's pulling the trigger. So that's the cool thing with that. The other accessories, like I said, I'm not going to really mess with them. It's involving changing this out, changing the head out, so we're not going to mess with that, or changing the horns out. But you can do all that if you wanted to. Get all the accessories onto him, but we're not going to do that on the video today. Just wanted to show off the comparisons with these two guys. So, coming down to the hip area here, what I wanted to talk about was Scoria's hips. So, when you would pick his leg up, at least on my copy, it would do this number here. And that always happened, just like that, because of the weight of all the die-cast metal in there. So if you held it up, he would still have this go down, which, you know, I mean, you can't help it with the weight of the hips there, or the legs there. So, and then the tail popped out. Let me put that back in. But so you don't have that issue over here with Cesium, because he doesn't have that same build right there. So his are just on this ball joint right here, and you can pick them up. And now they don't go out all the way to the side. They go out about that much, and he can actually hold it right there, but if you shake it, they'll start to go down. But you can't hold it out like that if you want to. The leg doesn't come forward all the way. It comes forward about this much. And then it doesn't go back much either. It goes back to about right there, and that's it. That's all you're going to get. And that's because of the way this molded piece is right here. Now, if you pick it up, you can pull it back just a little bit more, but still not a whole lot more. You're not getting a whole lot out of that backward motion of the leg here. Whereas on Scoria, you could get, because of the way it was designed right there, you can get a whole lot going front. Maybe not back, so I mean you could back, but it pulls the tail out of the way there. And then all the way out to the side. So you got some plus and minuses on the way this was engineered versus the way the one on Cesium was engineered. And then let's just go ahead and look at articulation on him. So his head can move side to side like this. Can look, not really up. Really just a little bit down like that. Side to side. The shoulders are on a nice ratchet right there. And you can't pick them up about so far right there. Now these wings do kind of get in the way. But even at that, even if the wings weren't in the way, and let me show what I mean. If you pull them out, you're still not going to get a whole lot. That's about what he's going to get right there as far as that goes. So he's got an upper bicep swivel right here, elbow bends right there, his wrist rotates, all the fingers are pinned right through the knuckle right here, but they're individually articulated right here. So you got at the base, and then one articulation right there for all of them. And then the thumb is just on a ball joint, and it's not articulated anywhere inside there. It's just the straight up thumb, just like that. He does have a waist swivel as well on a nice clickety ratchet. We talked about the legs already. He does have a thigh swivel knee swivel. There we go. Right there at the knee, and that's mainly for transformation. He does get a nice bend at the knee as well. There's that. Coming down to the toes, they do have a little bit of a tilt to them. And they don't go up well, they do go up this way, but not backwards. So you got a little bit of motion right there on him as well. So good posability on him. And I think, again, I don't know if he looks better, he just looks more updated than Scoria does. So, alrighty. Well, let's get into transformation of this guy. His transformation, if you have Scoria, is actually pretty similar to Scoria. So we're going to start off just getting the hands done. So fold the thumb down, fold these fingers in like this. Get them all folded in like so. Let me get these hands in or the fingers in first before we mess anything else. Get them all folded up. And then open up the back of the hands like this, or the forearms. Fold the fist in, just like so. Close that up. Same thing over here. Open this up. Flip that inside. Close that up as well. And then on the head, you want to take this and just rotate this piece right here. Let me pick this up. So this piece right here, this whole inside is going to rotate around. So just take that and flip that around like that. And there you go. So now you got what's going to be the top of his mouth, which again, it's kind of cartoon accurate because you always saw his head in the cartoon. And this flips up, and that becomes the bottom of his jaw right there. So you can see that right there. Just flip these up out of the way for now. And we can go ahead and rotate these now. We'll rotate them later. We'll talk about that. So let's come down to the feet, and let's just go ahead and open up this like this. Come down here, and we're going to take this piece right here, which can be his dino legs, and rotate this out like so. Then you want to rotate this piece, let me remember if it's correct, this way. Is that the way it goes? Oh, that goes around to the back, I believe. Double check that. Yeah. So this green piece here, the knee, you're gonna rotate it around so that way this is on the back where the two screws are on the back right there. Take that, pull this stuff out like this, close this up and around like so. Flip this in like this, and that's going to come in just like so. And we got the one side already almost done. Close that up like that. Bring this up and around like this. Lock that in, and that's going to be this part of the leg. You can kind of see where it's already getting done there. So let's go back around this side like that. Get this a little bit better on camera. Pull this out like so. Just like that. Rotate this one around at the knee, just like that. Flip this piece up like so. Take this, bring that in, open this up here. There you go. Flip that around, because why not? That's going to go around just like that. Bring these down, close that up right there, open this tail up, and we're trying to make sense of this all. So you get all this stuff here, and just close this all up. Before we do that though, I'm going to take these here, because these got to open up, that's going to fill in this open gap right here. So take these on the wings, fold that down like that, flip that open like this, bring that around, and you're going to tab this tab into a slot that's right there and just slide that in like that. Same thing on this side, open this one up like this, pull it down. It's got nice detailing inside the wing here, I will say. I like that detailing there. Pull that in, bring that around like so. Again, tab that into that slot that's right there. Right there, get all that tabbed in. And this, you're going to tab. You're going to see where this tab is going to go, or that peg's going to go to that peg hole, that peg into the peg hole right there. And then it's got some pegs down here that correspond to the peg holes on the opposite side. Just take all this, put it together, start smashing it together like that. Come to the top up here, same thing, just get everything and smush it together. This here will pick up, and you're going to take this whole piece, you saw the way it was there. It was like this. Just take all that, accordion it out like this, bring that around, and once you got to make sure everything is smashed together. That way it's all held together really well. And just take all this, and that's still not done right. Let's get it all, come on. Okay, now pull all this down like this. These two pegs will go into those right there. And smush that down. And that's going to go into right. Oh, come on. Everything likes to come undone at some point. So you just got to get it all. Once you get it all tabbed in, it holds in very securely. Alright, so I'm not sure what the issue was there. I mean, I was fiddling with it. It's just this piece here. If I will say one complaint about it, is this section here. He had a problem with his too. Scoria did when you put his tail together. But this here, with those two little tabs, it just kind of everything, you can see there's kind of a little gap there. And then again, I didn't have instructions with it, so I was kind of doing it on my own. It looks like that should probably sit further down right here. And that this should maybe sit right behind this piece here. But it doesn't really kind of go in there. And if I try and mess with it, the back piece pops off here, so I'm not going to even mess with it. I got the back piece on there, but it looks like it's just maybe a little bit. Let me zoom in there. You can see just like a little hair needs to just kind of move over so it can kind of sit recessed in there and close that off better. But I just couldn't get it, so I'm sure that's supposed to go down there. I just didn't want to mess with it anymore. But I got the tab in, so there's that. And getting on to the rest. We're almost done here. We're going to take this, open this up here, pull the feet out, and those are a nice ratchet. Or the back Dino, they should say. Then his feet, which these are all die cast metal here. Same thing over here. Open that up, pull this around, close that up, flip out the Dino foot, and then the last thing you're going to have to do is you got to rotate these arms down. Now these are a little bit stiff on the inside here. You can see there's a big gap here, so these have to be rotated. And I'm thinking you could probably do it during Dino mode or doing a robot mode, but I just do it during Dino mode so I know how far I'm supposed to go. So it starts off like this, and then you rotate that. Let me see if it goes up or down. I think it gets down. So rotate that. This one's easier over here. Let me do this one first. So rotate it down like so, and you can hear it rotating with the ratchet. Rotate that all the way around, like so. And you're rotating this whole piece right here. So just grab that and rotate it. There you go, about there. So that's sitting right there. And you'll notice that now this shoulder sits lower than this one does here. So go ahead and rotate this one as well. Now this one is a little bit tighter on this one here, so save you the trouble. I'm just going to do it off camera. Alright, so got that. And then lastly, let's just take these, fold these down like this. And then we got him, and let me angle this down. There, we got him in his Dino mode. And you just got to adjust everything on the feet here. Get it all adjusted. Now I will say you got to fix this here. Kind of tilt that back and pull these up to get that leg to match the front as far as the size of them. Just get them all situated however you want to. So there he is in his Dino mode. Now the Dino mode looks better, I think, than Scoria. I say that because Scoria, we had the baked potato look to him. And this one, he's a chunky guy, but he's got more of a, I don't know, more of a rounded kind of look to it here instead of that oblong potato. Now the one thing that is a little, I guess, different looking, he kind of looks like Snarl, I guess, back here, the way he comes rounded down like that. So, but there he is, and he does look nice, I will say. Gotta adjust these up here. He does look nice. The head to me is reminiscent, like I said earlier, mainly this piece here, but reminiscent of the ones by Gigapower for their Gigasaurs. So articulation, his head does rotate like this, and you can see that eyes are nice colored, beautiful eyes right there. Head rotates, looks up just a little bit, mainly right here on this top piece can move a lot. The arms are ratcheted there. You're gonna get the same thing because that's the way it was in the Dino mode or in the robot mode. And these toes move a little bit. Back here, these are not ratcheted. They are just on a ball peg right there. And they're not really tight. It was the same thing with Scoria as far as these back legs here. So they weren't overly tight. I imagine you probably could pop this off and put maybe some finish on there to make it a little bit tighter. So let me bring in Scoria just so we can see these two guys side by side. So there is Scoria, and then again, you remember this, it was called the baked potato because it just looked kind of like a baked potato. So he's a little bit chunkier over here, Cesium is, than Scoria is. Scoria is longer. He's got a longer tail. His tail over here is shorter. And you know, with Scoria, you can push this tail in if you want it shorter. With Cesium, you only get that that short tail right there. Looking at the tops of them, I will say Scoria probably has some more detailing on him over here in this area on the top versus over here on the sides. Chromes, some nice coloring here. He's got more coloring up here. Looking at the bottom of them, let's do this. Scoria hides everything pretty well. Everything covers up here. This one, it's a little bit opener here where the chest piece was right there. Kind of open right there. And Scoria was able to hide everything pretty decent right there. My Scoria, his jaw was always loose, like this. I mean, not overly loose, but still a little loose. Scoria had the little gun in his mouth. That could be like that fire gun. Or a flamethrower. I guess not really a gun, but a flamethrower. And Cesium here does not. He's got his head inside there. Which again is cartoon accurate in there, so not too bad looking. Again, I think this one looks good. I'm going to bring in the rest of the dinos in their dino modes. And there they all are as a team. So we have Grinder, we have Cesium, we have Snarl, and I forget his FansToys name, we have Stomp, and we have Soar. And they look good together. Cesium is more updated, like I said, and he just looks good with them. Now, does that mean that old baked potato here, Scoria, looks bad with the team? No, I don't think he does. I think he looks fine. And if you have Scoria instead of Cesium, do you need to immediately rush out and grab Cesium? I don't think so. I think you're fine with either one of them. But just looking at them all together, I think Cesium looks better. If I didn't have either one of these two guys, and I had everybody else, and he was the last one I was going to get for some odd reason, I would this time get the Cesium. I think he just fits better. Again, just better looking in robot mode. He hides everything better. The tail hides way better than it does on Scoria. But Scoria does have some good things about him. So, like I said, if you already have Scoria, you don't necessarily need to run and get Cesium. But if you just want an updated version, then yeah, I would say go ahead and do that. But like I said, either way, you're not missing out on much as far as that goes. So, I'm going to put a link in the description where you can get Cesium from at Toy Dojo. It'll be in the link below. And then also, I'm going to plug my buddy. His channel is Retro Crunch, and he goes over pop culture stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and just kind of a retro kind of feel. So hop over there. His name is Scott, and just hop over there and let him know that you know, I directed you that way. He's got some good stuff, so check out his channel. I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can see his channel, and just check it out. And thank you guys again for watching my channel. Thank you guys for subscribing and liking. And again, comments. You know, I enjoy your comments, and I try and reply back to everybody. You know, even if it's just to say hi. So keep tuned. I've got some more stuff I'm going to be reviewing. And again, thank you guys as always. Until next time, stay safe.